Hey everyone, welcome again to EmprendeMentes in English. It's the third chapter in English with Ajay Gupta. Ajay, again, it's a pleasure to be together.
Absolutely, brother.
This information that today we're gonna give us is very, very important, and I'm 100% sure that it's going to help you to grow more by yourself, by your soul, by the thing that you need to. The way that you need to think. So AJ, again, welcome. I'm very, very excited to be part with you as create this kind of content.
I'm excited too, brother. Let's change lives.
This is our purpose, change lives. Because I'm 100% sure that the world needs to know this knowledge. So the people sometimes forget. So right now, I think that this information can change your life.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's start with the first question, AJ. What is the message when they change life? You know what happened in your life, or take the decisions to change, to start to grow in your mind, to grow in your soul, to grow in your spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, the one message or one thought that really stuck with me and changed the trajectory of my life was, if I wanted anything in my life to change, I had to be that change. For so long, I was waiting for so many things to happen in order for me to feel great or for my life to improve. But I realized, someone told me, AJ, if you want any part of your life to change, you have to change. If you want your health to change, right? I remember a time where I was 36 pounds overweight. I had to make that change for my health. So if you want any part of your life to change, my friends, don't wait for something on the outside to change. You have to be that catalyst for yourself.
The only person that can change is you. Nobody changes with you. You have to take the decisions to change. Nobody make for you.
Absolutely.
AJ, what it means for you that have a mindset, like a growing your mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. So a growth mindset for me means that I'm growing at least 1% physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I used to compare myself to other people for so long, but the only person I really should compare myself to is who I was yesterday, who I was a week ago. So having a growth mindset is so important because it gives us happiness. When we're growing, it makes us happy. So progress equals happiness. When I'm growing at least 1% in all these different areas, it makes me feel great.
1% of the week, 1% of the month, 1% of the day?
1% every single day.
Every single day.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And sometimes other people need to grow 3%, 5%, 10%. But if you are constantly growing consistently at least 1%, then in a year's time, you'll have exponential growth.
Of course. So in 1 month, you are 30% better.
Absolutely. 30% more energetic, 30% more loving, 30% kinder, 30% more spiritually aligned, mentally stronger, emotionally fitter, and physically stronger as well.
AJ, do you think it's have any relationship, the energy of your body for the thing that you think, you know?
Absolutely, brother. So I remember a time in 2017, I was traveling, every 3 days I was on a plane somewhere and I ended up in hospital. My kidneys had failed. I remember the doctor telling me, AJ, your kidneys are operating at a 17% right now. And I was in the best physical shape of my life. And from that experience, I actually realized that our body and minds are so connected that I wasn't listening to my body on the inside. I wasn't treating it with love and respect. And by not treating it with the love and respect, it affected my kidneys. So through a series of forgiveness exercises and really loving myself and putting that energy back inside me, I was able to reverse that kidney failure. And the more energy you can put inside your body, the more presence you can give and the more acknowledgement you can give inside your body, I promise you it changes everything. It changes the way you feel, changes the way you show up. So again, the body, the mind and soul are all connected.
Alignment.
How
you train your mind when everything is bad. How you train your mind for don't give up.
Yeah, so, how do I change my mind when, when everything around me seems to be going bad? Is, again, what you focus on, you will get more of. So if you focus on all the things that are going wrong in your life, trust me, seek and ye shall find. If you look for all the things that are going wrong around you, I promise you, you will find them. But equally, when things around you seem to be going really bad, if you ask yourself, okay, what is going great right now? What is going amazing for me right now? What is working for me right now? And you tap into those resources, then it changes your mindset. And the key word is training, right? It's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym once and be fit for life. Otherwise, we would all be fit for life. You can't go through one adversity and handle it and then be able to handle every adversity. You have to train your mindset. You have to, acknowledge the truth, but then identify the truth and ask yourself, okay, what is the solution? What can I do to get out of this? What resources are available to me to get out of the situation I'm in? And you keep training and you keep building. And if one thing doesn't work, you try another. And if that doesn't work, you try another. And you keep on doing it until you get the result.
In this season of the war, frequently we consume a lot of content.
Yes.
What kind of content do you recommend, consume to be more knowledge in this kind of things, like a personal growing, successful? What kind of content do you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen to podcasts, read books that are designed to help you think outside the box. There's so many books out there that teach you about the power of focus and the power of your mind, but the most important thing is, knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. We all know what to do. We all know how to lose weight. We all know how to do X, Y, Z, but it's using that knowledge and applying it is the most powerful. So, soak in all this information and take one thing that you've learned and apply it in your life, and that's when you will see the difference.
It's very curious, the thing that you are talking, because in the podcast in Spanish, I always say, hey, share, because you don't know just one word that we can say here is gonna change the world. It's gonna change the mind of the people, because this is important. Share, because advice for you, share this content with your friends, with your family, because I think personally that everybody needs to know this information. Everybody needs grow in your mindset.
Yeah, and I need this information just as much as you do at times, right? We're all human beings, so I have to remind myself, AJ, you have to be grateful today. AJ, you have to step up. AJ, you have to think outside the box, right? Life throws so many different things at us, and we can get so sucked in to the everyday life that we forget that those are the mindset tools we need. So, again, it's like training yourself, right? There were days where I would wear my gym clothes to sleep, so it was easier for me, to as soon as I wake up, I can go straight to the gym. It cut out all the excuses. So, you better than anybody else on this planet, right? So find out what works for you and keep doing it, train yourself in a beautiful way, and, live a beautiful life.
You are a motivation speaker, right? Who motivate the speaker that motivate other person?
Yeah, so I've had many people in my life that have helped me and motivated me and inspired me.
Like a mentor?
Yes, many mentors. My dad was a great mentor. He still is. Tony Robbins. I worked with Tony Robbins for a couple of years. But, at the end of the day, I am my own best mentor as well, right? Because, I'm constantly asking myself, okay, what can you do to improve? How can you do this differently? And I fell in love with self-growth, right? Because the more I learned, the more I grew. To be honest, the more I can contribute, the more I can give back as well. And, I remember hearing Tony Robbins say this a long time ago. He said, progress equals happiness. As long as we are making progress, as long as we are growing, we're going to be happy. That's so important.
Amazing.
Yes.
What would you like to say for the people feel like it's losing the life, losing your purpose to life, don't know what is the next step to make?
Yeah. So I've been in many situations where I don't know what the next step is, and it can be very debilitating in those moments, right? We want to grow, we want to make a difference, but we don't know how to. And so it's important, one, to just acknowledge where you are right now. It's okay not to know everything right now. It's okay not to know your purpose. But if you have some sort of inkling, some sort of desire, or anything that's pushing you towards whatever that is, start taking steps towards that. For me, it was the moment I started to give to other people and I started to help other people, and I noticed the shifts that they were making in their life. I realized, oh, that is my purpose, right? But it took many years for me to get to that place. So for those that don't know their purpose, it's okay. You have to ask yourself, what do you love to do? What difference do you make? How can you make a difference? And the purpose will come to you.
Somebody need to find the purpose of life. Everybody need to find the purpose of life.
Yeah, and I think the purpose of life is to give, is to share, is to spend time with your family, to create family, to be in joy and abundance, but to make a difference. We're all here on this planet, I believe, to make a difference deep down inside of us. And it could be different for everybody. It could be starting a multi-million-dollar company, or it could be starting a family, right? So purpose is different for everyone, but whatever that is for you, if it brings you joy, if it brings you happiness, if it makes you feel good, if it's in alignment with your body, mind, and soul, that's purpose.
In your past, what the moment in the split your life into, and what is the moment when you take the decision to start to learn?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was 15 years old, I was going through a very difficult time in high school. I was getting bullied by all sorts of people. It started to affect my grades. It started to affect my emotions. It started to affect the way I felt. And I went through a very, very dark time. And one quote changed the whole direction of my life. And it was, the secret to living is giving. And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. But later on, I found out that, the more we can give and the more we love, the more, it changes the way we feel. And so I started to give my time. I started to volunteer at different organizations. I became president of Science Fair Club, even though I hated science, but it was an opportunity for me to give. And in the moments I gave, whether it was time, energy, money, I didn't have money to give at the time, but time is the most valuable thing in the world. When I started to focus on giving and serving, it changed everything for me. So since the age of 15, my whole life has been all about serving others, helping others, and it's been such a beautiful journey since.
And if you have the opportunity to say something about you 10 years or maybe 20 years ago, what do you say for you?
For me, it would be just keep following your heart. There's been times where my heart is telling me to do things and my head tells me something otherwise, and 99.99% of the time your heart is always right. So follow your heart, do what's right, and as Salome says, speak with truth, speak the truth, live with honesty. And when you live with honesty and you do the right thing and you follow your heart, life, it will be beautiful, 100%.
What advice you give? So imagine all the world is looking to you right now. What advice would you like to say to everybody today about 3 things in your life, about the personal growing, about the mindset, about the spirit, and about this heart?
Yeah. So the personal growth never stops. You know,
Never stop.
life is a journey, and when you can fall in love with growing you, becoming the best version of you, not from an ego standpoint, not so you can be more and get more and do more, but it's more so you can show up more, right? So you can be the best father, you can be the best mother, you can be the best son, daughter, friend, business partner, but fall in love with that self-growth and fall in love with you, right? You know, it's important to have a beautiful relationship with yourself, right? And self-love and self-care it's not selfish, it's actually selfless, because when you take care of you, right? It's like when they say put the mask on yourself first. When you take care of you and you love yourself unconditionally, your ability to love others and help others and contribute to others exponentially. It goes 10x.
It's 100% true, you know? And no, AJ, I'm exciting, you know?
Absolutely.
Because everything it's around one thing, server, and be best person every day. So AJ, what advice you give a person that is entrepreneur and the business is no good in this moment? What can you see for the people don't lose the light, you know?
Yeah. So for entrepreneurs, I think one of the best gifts I can give them would be, you know, I always live by this philosophy of under promise and over deliver, right? You know, like we said earlier in one of the other podcasts, like we live in a world where it's all about me.com. And if entrepreneurs have that mindset, you're not going to get far, right? You look at some of the biggest brands in this world, Apple, Coke, right? The feeling that they get. You know, if I take your iPhone away from you, you're going to do whatever you can to get the iPhone back because the feeling you get from them, right? So customers, you want customers to have that same feeling about you where, you know, they can't live a life without you in their life, right? And it's not from an ego standpoint as well. It's like you add so much value to your customers that they have no choice but to stick with you. And when entrepreneurs can continue doing that, even if at times where you may lose money in a transaction, but if your focus is on money, it becomes a transaction. But if your focus is on serving the other customer, helping the other customer, doing whatever it takes for them, you'll have that customer for life. They'll become raving fans. And that's what you want. You want raving fans. Even if you have a small company, you want those people that show up and they're like, oh my God, I love you. I love what you do. I love everything that you do. And eventually, with the right mindset, with the right tools, with the right guidance, you're able to grow.
Amazing, AJ.
Yes.
AJ, thank you for being part of this podcast. Thank you for being
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time for share all the information. And for me, feel very gratitude for you.
Me too, brother.
So thank you for sharing, and for you, thank you for watching. And remember 3 things: share with somebody, with your family, with your friends, because this information, I am 100% sure that is very important. The other thing is comment. What do you think about this information? Do you know about it? What do you think? And the only thing is believe in yourself. Remember, always believe in yourself. You are the more important people in the world. You are the more important people in the world. You are the more important people in the world. Remember always, I believe in you. You believe in you? Hey,
Absolutely.
Jay.
Gracias. Thank you.
You're very welcome.